about to watch contains content that some viewers might not like. Viewer discretion is advised. You have been warned. Don't you get it, Springfield? It's over. You lose.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Ooh, this is gonna be a fun episode, I can tell you that one. Hello everyone, welcome back to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough for part 3 of, okay, you know what, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is something I was looking forward to and hating on. You might be curious of what I'm talking about here. You probably are wondering why on earth have I been posting these warnings all over the place. This video is the reason. You're about to find out why. This video is going to be so cringy, but it also is going to come to subject matter. Now, you might see the demons, right? But, ooh, boy, everything gets, okay. Well, I guess I can't really say much more than that, but, yeah, this is going to be a fun episode. Today we're going to be taking a look at most of all the content comes into play without finally off on the ending, but, we get most, if not all, of the worst ones. So, let's just dive right in and, do we really have to? Alright, fine, let's dive in. So 25 days left of this, and daily bonus, we got that again, and the game likes to sell me stuff, which, you know, it's a mobile game, so of course it needs to, but still, you know. Let the Love Grows are, I believe this is the first weekend thing we get, which is give us the Dark Road kiosk. The only thing I need to get is 2 of the new spawn area stuff, the Ruin Stone. But that's something easy to get, so I'm not too worried about that one. Alright, let's just grab some of these characters here. Needless to say, if you thought the beginning thing was a little bit funny, it gets a little bit more funnier. Now, I will point out there is going to be a joke coming up, and it is not making fun of the subject matter, because I love the storyline, but it's making fun of the fact that this whole thing is made for a certain demographic, and I don't think that's an appropriate thing to put into a game. I won't say much more. I'm actually kind of curious about this whole subject thing, but unfortunately we're living in a day and age now where a lot of people are a little bit more... Okay, let me put it this way. I always try to avoid politics into stuff like this, and as of recently, a lot of... Yeah, we're gonna have Grandma give me some soda. But a lot of things right now in the hobby business gets into a little bit more political stuff. What I will say is that in this storyline, especially when it comes to the new character, it's not in your face and it's done very tastefully. It's not like what most people would, like Hollywood tries to do it and rubs it in your face. But yeah, this gets very awkward. I am going to try to pretend as if this whole thing's not happening there, but just note that I am not, you know, sorry. Oh, this episode is going to be so bad. It is. Not only do we have to deal with the dialogue, but then we also have to deal with the subject matters of finding more information on what's going on in this town. Oh boy, they certainly had fun with this quest, I will say that, and this has got to be the craziest one yet. Like, this is putting the Masked Mutant to shame. Ooh, man. The context of this whole thing gets so insane here. So we got the ritual thing, so I think now we're going to have her, I believe... Yeah, okay, we already set it up, but she's really walking slowly just to get here, so let's see this. Oh, demon. I will say, I do love the animations they give her. Like, you get the transformation, you get the thunder. I really like that. The animations are very fluid, I will give you that. They've really did their job here. I love the character. I love the story, I love everything about it, because I am an adult. And I love this dark stuff. But is it suitable for Goosebumps, or better for a HorrorTown-esque theme? Yeah, so this is what I was talking about before with the rock. So that's the rock in question, and this is causing him to kind of go do Chuck Norris style with the boat. I'm not going to worry too much. It's not their fault per se. I do find it funny with good old not Eric, but Dustin's whole body just was gone in an instant. But here comes one part of the funny quest. So, oh boy.
The soda recipe's ready. I figured we should call it Lake Soda after its secret ingredient. Damn, brewer, that soda's delicious. Congrats on the recipe. Let's put it on everyone's hands now.
Dustin, what's that smell? You haven't swum in the lake, have you? You look so pale.
Ah, yuck! There's a smell on me. Disgusting. It must have been that damn lake. Oh, I'm not feeling well at all.
I don't feel so good.
Normally this soda smells like butt socks, but the taste, I kinda like it. I'll grab a pack to take home.
Yeah, me too. We'll take a bushel or a packer. Just give it to me.
Ew, Daddy, it tastes like Grandma. Yeah, you're right. It does taste like Grandma. I want another. Yeah, me too.
Hey, Brooke, have you noticed that lakey smells everywhere? Yeah, it's not just the lake anymore. It's in the flowers, the tap water, the food. It's everywhere you go. Some town folks are starting to get suspicious. I can't wait another minute.
Taint Dark Roses and all that. It's in the bottoms, it's in the cars, it's in the houses, it's in the dogs. You can just, I don't know, I'm just trying to put up there. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of Simpsons stuff. But yeah, remember when I said that your face will cringe like Homer Simpson when it comes to sour candies and whatnot, or that lemon face meme? Yeah, no, the love puns are so bad in this one. It's not gonna come up just yet, but it is a coming. Something wicked this way will come. Ooh, okay. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I love the fact that the presents are here. I will let it go and slide because it's basically Valentine's Day colors, so I'm going to let it slide. But the next update, I better see that disappear into something more suitable. I don't like, you know, just whatever. Alright. Gotta love the haunted hotel. I don't know what makes it haunted. It just got repurposed and it's sitting on top of the lake shore. Which again, I have to ask, how would anybody get there? Anyways. Yeah. So, this is where all of them come in. This is what they looks like. I love how Pumpkin Boy Jack here is just running away. He's just like, nope. Just runs. Yeah, see, so there he goes. He's just walking really fast. So he gets spooked, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna disappear. What I will say though is a lot of context, and it also is interesting too because the storyline, especially with Ellie, which brings in Mrs. Dark, it's interesting on more story dialogue when it comes to her. I'm actually curious to see if we'll learn more about her, like her and her family, especially since I'm not sure if it's implied what happened to Mr. Dark, but it seems like she hasn't acknowledged him at all. So at first I thought, oh, they had a nasty breakup, or you know, they moved on, and you know, because it's implied here during this whole quest through from one of my previous dialogue exchange that they're at least college level, and they're actually somewhere, at least college I would say, because of the dialogue suggesting that they're in the house. You know what I mean, like when you're in college, you're in campus, you're in those houses, so that's what it's implying there. So I'm assuming that this is like a few years after that, so maybe something bad happened. Someone also brought up the fact that perhaps he met a dark fate, implying that he died. As mean as this is, I rather have him die rather than him being, you know, divorced, because at least it's like, oh, she moved on kind of deal, like, oh yeah, whatever, you know, the kids are grown up, they don't mind. Anyways, Yeah, so we still have a little bit left, and yeah, I'm gonna have a whole lot. I'm gonna go after the water, the recolored water tank that we got during the Welcome to Dead House event, and a lot of interesting stuff there. Yeah. Oh yeah, so something's gonna come up in a bit where it's gonna be what I call boredom. You'll see what I mean in a bit, but first, before we do that, I want to point this out. The curse swamped for some reason. Now it's the curse swamp and not fever swamp. Yeah, so that's weird. Yeah, I was having too much fun with that. I didn't know what else to put on her, so I was like, okay, evil laugh. Why not? But yeah, it's funny how when you switch up and down, it makes her talk, so it's like, hello, I am me. How are you today? I couldn't have had her. It's not like back in the Welcome to Dead House event, since we talked about it. It's not like how I made the robot dance to the Goosebumps music. Instead, this one is more like, oh, it's just whatever. And if you're wondering about the context of why I'm putting these weird effects over like The Simpsons and putting their voices a little bit down in pitch, it's so the copyright bot doesn't come and flag it, because I'm using it under fair use for the whole purpose of making fun of it. Not making fun of it, but, you know, making light of the content, like what it's supposed to be using. But because the robots are so stupidly strict, it's just worse. I found this out the hard way when it comes to Scholastics, but ever since then, it seems like it's pretty much good. What's also weird about it, too, is that for some reason, my content for the basement level, to stay out of the basement, the first beginning part on the thing, it's muted, but I didn't get copyright claim for that, so that's weird, but it still works on TVs. Anyways, we're going to continue off with some cool effects with the Ellie story.
Everything is ready now. The ritual can commence. Darkest hour, demon flower, grow my power and flow free. All devour, all turn sour, all may cower endlessly.
Please, I promise I'll be a good boy. Please, no more rhyming.
Poor Slappy, he just hates the rhymes. And yeah, I love the fact that I'm decided to, when they do transformations, I'm just gonna use a transition, trying to make it look more inclusive.
Ellie? Is that you? What? Who? Oh, Mrs. Doc, it's you. Well, I guess it's no use pretending anymore. Ja, I am actually a foul demon. Oh, I see. Wait, why aren't you scared to see marrow? Well, you see, I also keep a little secret of my own.
Oh, do you now? Play Mischievous Behaviors, play the Ritual, which we kind of did, and get some stones. I forgot to mention, because of the fact that Ellie is a German, is from Germany, I'm wondering if she's from the same hometown as our good Dr. Frederick there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good old Frederick, man. I feel so bad for him, because he's the only monster character. It's like, nah, you know what, he's not even a monster. You go into Neighbors with all the other nobodies. I will say, though, that I think they're going to try to do a little bit more with the Neighbors, especially with the generic doctor, They have names, by the way. I think the doctor is Kim something. I know Johnson is now, Johnson is the mayor. Yeah, so they, like, all those characters have names, but they've just default them to just the mayor, the firefighter, the police officer. Yeah, we only get one of those. You know. And this is part of the reasons why I love this game, is just the story and it's weird how it just keeps me entertained despite it being a mobile game. And I think that's one of the appeals to it. Now, eventually something like this won't go on forever, but, you know, they have a bit of a part of this, and being able to make these videos, I find, is more entertaining for me. as well as it kind of keeps my creative juices flowing. I know beforehand I used to do like the stream stuff, and I still want to do that, but I find it more fun and relaxing to kind of do editing videos and kind of commentate over these gameplay of a mobile game rather than just simple stuff like that. It especially keeps me creative with my my humor side, like basically me being a clown. But in the sense of that, I know that certain people don't like this kind of content. It's not for everybody. I think I mentioned this before. I tried to keep it informative as possible, but also entertaining. I think I've mentioned that in the past. But it's one of those things where you want to try to have a balance between being informative, but also keeping the audience's attention, especially since these videos go long into the hours. Instead of wanting to give you like a few hits and pieces there, I want to try to create a narrative of sorts. So there's that. Anyways, we're gonna take a look at one of her other things we haven't seen before, which is the acting mysterious behaviors, which drop us the confusing feelings, or the blurry, the heart thing. You know what I'm talking about. Clear my throat. Anyways, let's take a look at this. Alright, so I think I'm seeing what this is going on here. Alright, so she has the starfire power, and then she just makes a happy cloud. Ba 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 ba. I'm loving it. Do the McDonald hands. You remember that back in the 90s, the whole McDonald hands to bring the yellow arches and all that? I think I mentioned I remember watching the Foundry. It was the Founder. It's so interesting. Sorry, I have to keep on clearing my throat now because my voice is getting irritated with I guess talking. Man, you've talked so much to the point where your voice is gonna give up. It's like, nah, man, you're gonna turn off like that. And I'm gonna try to see if I can get these videos out and running. The problem is, what I find is that, especially when it comes to these events, it's hard to kind of keep up to date. I have a feeling that the whatever comes next, it's gonna keep me busy as well. I will say I prefer this kind of stuff rather than the stuff we had before. I mean, the idea of having a limited time event, but also have it like a permanent update, I'm fine with that. You know, I like that kind of thing to kind of give a little bit more investment or interest. And eventually, I think what's going to happen is eventually it's going to be only like limited time stuff, like some other games have. Because eventually the level is...
Luckily, I brought with me some conditions for the underworld, which are such to inspire much longing, singing, and loving. All I needed to pour these into the lake, and voila! Everyone will forget about my doings and focus on romance. I need the powers in this water to grow my dark roses, which I in turn need to complete my transformational ritual.
I forgot the quest was done, and if the words seem wrong, I apologize on that. I got a wrong dialogue thing, and also, Ellie is evil. She's gonna make me go through hell, and you're gonna see why. And, it's gonna get so good. But let's continue on with the main quest line.
I am ready to unleash my demonic powers upon this helpless little town. Mist of Iser, Stone of Nezer, Cold Crow Feather, hear me now. Come together in cruel weather, and portal build most foul. Then you're building a demonic portal. It just doesn't feel the same without some heavy thunderstorm.
I like her bars.
Again with the rhyming. Christmas was like 2 months ago.
Man, you know, if you want to kill Curly, I meant Curly. Curly's just I love Curly's dialogue thing. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna need to summon that at least once, but it's free, so it's just having to play the waiting game. But yeah, if you want to defeat Slappy, just rhyme. Apparently that's his only weakness. Because I love that too, because I did the joke in Christmas about the rhyming thing, because usually Christmas you have that kind of Dr. Seuss rhyming every sentence kind of deal, the R&B stop motion stuff. But apparently that kind of turned into him just hating rhyming altogether, and he just wanted to throw that in there. And I appreciate him for it. I love his dialogue choices, I will say that. It made me laugh. That's the one thing I'll say, is that these dialogues made me laugh in either way, just because of how dumb it is. And yeah, although I am going to take the piss out of the storyline here with some of the jokes I'm going to throw in, it's not me hating on the game. If anything, this just keeps it more entertaining. Like, the two worst ones, the vampire and the zombie one, as much as I hated those were entertaining to watch, just to see me suffer. This time around, it's not really much me suffering, but it's suffering in a certain way. Also, you can get these items in the fortune card. I just wanted to share with you that. And yeah, we're going to keep on counting down days. We're at 23, so you get to see my progress through time. I tend not to mention how long these usually take, but so I kind of show that off. If that window pops up, I've kind of record it and show it off. If it makes sense, so you get a good idea. Oh, so this is how long it took. So you get an idea. But yeah, this event went by quick, but I'm not complaining about that, especially since the book getting added, which I do appreciate. It does make the event go by a little bit longer. Yeah, so you need one of those, but I'm not going to do that. Well, I mean, I need a few more. And then I need to play the lake monster scene, the mud monster. And I'm curious if people wonder if that is a special lake monster creature, or if it's just a normal lake monster that got stuck into the poison river, and it just turned into that. And here's the thing, so it does explain with why the potion is the way it is, but why on earth is the lake poisonous? Is it because the mud monster's in there and he's just doing God knows what in that water and it's just infecting it, or is just Goosebumps water just that bad because there's like monsters in the waters doing God knows what? Who knows? They don't really fully explain that. It's kind of like it kind of plays a little bit of the poison lake kind of concept, but then it just changes the subject matter where it's like, oh no, now it's this. And yeah, as you can see, the yellow thing over there, that's the same one, except the difference is now it's purple, purplish blue, violet, and then it has a little heart thing on the side. So, and by the way, you can only get one of these, so once this one's down, that's it. And it's part of the dialogue too, so it's part of the quest line on why you need one of these. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting with what I have in mind for coming up. And I think the next thing I'm gonna get is this neon sign, which is kind of cool. Well, actually, I'm gonna be doing with this is I'm gonna be putting it near the left side here. No idea whatever happened to my one of my trees is there, but yeah, near the end of the part 4 you're gonna see what I did with all this stuff. So hopefully you end up liking my weird design of my town, trying to make it look presentable and look man, one of the things I do like about this game is seeing other people's creativity in this town type of deal. And the only downside to it is the fact that in order to actually be able to see other neighbors, it's not like how EA has their own little server kind of deal where you can just set that thing up and then that's it. No, instead it's like you have to sign up through Facebook, which makes it easier for them. But what ends up happening is that now, in order for people to be able to see my town, they would have to have the game already on their on their thing, and the second one is to have it just kind of set up in the form of this stuff. But yeah, it's weird how this whole thing kind of just goes into play. But yeah, we're gonna have the monster now do his little thing to get me one like monster sample. I will talk about this in a review, but I feel like the story... Okay, I'll be honest with you. The story, it's weird on its own, and it kind of is confusing, convoluted, so I'm not too bothered with this, but, yeah. Oh, right. Here comes the awkward part. One of the awkward parts coming up, so, get ready for one of the reveals.
Ready? The portal's complete. Now my succubi will have a doorway into the world.
Huh. I always thought the plural was succubuses. You'll live and learn, I guess.
Curly, why are you not concerned with that? Are you meaning to tell me that they're not imps, but they're actually... Oh! There's the first controversy of why I put the warning label there. Yes, it's stated that these little minions are actually succubuses, or succubi, whatever you call them. Oh, this is going to be bad. And do you want to know? It gets a lot worse. You want to know why? Oh, it comes to cringe!
Oh my. Ain't this a lovely morning? I absolutely adore a beautiful town.
Yes, and now that Ellie is here, everything seems brighter and more colorful. I just love the way she smiles.
And I just love you. Oh dear, what am I saying?
I love you back. I love you back. Goodness gracious, why can't I stop saying that? What I meant to say that I love you back.
I love you even more, my love. The love I feel for you makes me love the idea of loving you and being your lover.
What is wrong with these people?
Jesus Christ, it keeps on going on. Shit. My face is sucking into itself as we speak. Oh, fuck. I wasn't joking when I said that. Oh, okay. So in this quest, we only have to get the creepypasta and the drink, but then we also have to place down the lover or the kissing bench. Which, again, some of the items in this game I really do love. It's, you know, I don't want to say that word anymore because of. It gets worse too. That's not the worst one. Oh God, the. Oh, okay, you know how in cartoons there's these cheesy like, man, is it hot in, or like, I'm trying to eat. See, I can't even think of some bad pickup lines, but it's that bad. It's like those weird Valentine's gay cards. Oh, here comes part 2.
You also have secrets. Sure, I might look like a helpful neighbor and loving mother, but there's a darker side to me as well.
Uh-oh!
And that darker side looks like this. Now, I have to say, I like your darker side much better. Really? Well, if we're being honest, ever since I saw you arrive, something has stirred with me. Everyone was delighted to welcome you, but all I could think of was this was what love must really feel like.
Oh. Wait. Are they... They're not.
You know, I didn't notice you that day. I guess I was so focused on my evil doings that I couldn't hear love knocking at my door.
If you like pina coladas, get caught in the rain.
I want to take this time to point out that this game is rated E for everybody. Now, what does that mean? Well, according to the ESRB, it is... Content is generally suitable for all ages, may contain mild cartoon, fantasy, or mid-violence, and or infrequent use of mild language. Do you see why I put the warning label now? Oh God. Alright, it's a place to theater that, the apple strudel, and the heart in the box. This is the second controversy. It is now being implied that both Ellie and Mrs. Dark are a couple. And honestly, I love that idea. I thought, oh yeah, you know what? I love that. You know, it's weird, but you know, like this is the part of the thing. We're living in a world now where anything's possible. I mean, this is a bunch of monsters for all we care about. But the reason why I bring this as a controversy is because of how politically toxic we're living in a day and age now, where you can't do anything without somebody bringing up politics, and I tend to be one of those types that want to keep it away from my video games, but as you've seen in the gaming industry, that's gotten worse and worse, and I despise that. I am going to argue this statement, though. I think they put this in here as just a fun idea, you know. Nothing's wrong with it. But one thing I will state is that I don't think this is what most people call woke. If anything, I think, in my opinion, what I would classify woke stuff is when they force this onto people and they go, oh, look at us, and advertise it. The game hardly advertised this fact at all. Besides it hinting it in the book, that's about it. You wouldn't know. So, with people watching this in this video type of thing, I know there are certain people that are maybe not the best when it comes to the storyline and it made it worse for them. Others are happy by it. And I'm one of those people in the camp of not really minding anything of the subject matter. In fact, again, like I said, I always love the idea of making it a little bit darker for the game. But is it appropriate for Goosebumps? I wouldn't know. I don't think so. I think there's a reason why there's no demons in Goosebumps. Demons in the Haunting Hour? Oh, most definitely. I mean, hell, there's 2 episodes where Satan himself is there. So, you know, it's really that. What do you call it? It just makes me feel weird. And I warned you about it being cringy, and here we go. We're going to be finishing off with this quest line, and it's just going to pray for me.
Normally this pasta. So delicious. Slimy but crunchy. Sour but sweet. What a knack for flavor, Mr. Mortman. You've outdone yourself.
Thank you, dear. It's one of my specialties. And this drink you've prepared, it certainly goes great with it. Fresh and dubious. Just my type.
Glad you like it. I've used the new lake waters and as an ingredient. So fresh.
Oh, God. It gets worse!
Good morning, officer. My, don't you look just rusting in that uniform.
I hurt myself today.
Well, you look positively smoking in yours. Well, that sexy fur of yours just makes me want to wolf whistle.
And I love you. Yeah. Werewolf awoo. You're so inspiring, Sharon. I'll write a love song for you.
To see if I still feel.
It's gonna be cringy. I hate it. God damn. I hate it. Oh, God. Okay. Well, regardless, we need Sam to do this quest line that he's already done it, so that sucks. 12 hours wasted. I had to put in the 2 things, which we already did, so all we have to wait now is for that. But yeah, you see what I meant with the cringy stuff. It just gets so bad, and that's not the worst part of it. The dialogue for the 2 lovebirds, it kind of gets weird.
But now that I've opened up, let me demonstrate my feelings for you with my culinary skills. This is a typical German Pt.3 with a little dark touch of mine. I hope you like it.
Delicious. And I will also like to give you a token of my affection. A heart in a box.
An actual heart? That is so kind of you.
Who the f***'s heart is that? No, really, who the f*** did he rip the heart out? God damn, this is getting dark. Next time on the Haunting Hour. What, is this? I thought I was playing Goosebumps, not f***ing Dark Souls. I love you, Ellie.
I love you too. But how should we seal our love?
I know. Just let me get down on one knee. What knee? You don't got no knees. You're a f***ing Nanga. Whatever. Whatever. Just... Okay. Please continue.
Ellie, will you go on an epic scare with me?
Yes.
Of course they're gonna do that. Alright, play the summoning portal, the old tavern, and get the monstrosity that is the, I'm not even gonna pronounce what that name is. Oh man, you can see what I'm talking about. The dialogue makes no sense, and there's one more of it when they go watch a certain movie, and how you'll see what I mean when it's gonna come up in the next part, but oh dear. Also, I apologize on me swearing. I ended up censoring it with the squeaky because I figured that would be more funny to censor myself in the most pathetic way possible rather than just keep that thing in. Post. Blame the fact that I grew up during the AVGN era. Okay? That stuff was part of the norm. It's just... Alright, well... I'm getting tired. My voice. It pained me, you know, all that, the bad dialogue. I wasn't joking. That physically hurted me to say that stuff. I'm just gonna have Slappy do it because he's free. He's not doing anything, and it's just gonna get rid of, just to have him play. You know, it's, oh god, it's, I don't know what to talk about. It's just so bad, you know. Again, like I said before, I don't mind this whole thing, and you can see why this is my best and worst video, and why I partially suffered. Not because the game is bad or this event is bad. Far from it. It's the bad in the sense that it's making me suffer to have to say these stupid things, and I get why, right? It's them doing the toxic water and the love potion and all that stuff. Man, Ellie's very evil. She knew. She's like, she plays around like she's in the game, but she's not. She's, what you call it, a bizarre type of deal. And she's like, you know. But it's what it is, unfortunately. Alright, well, I'm going to be collecting some of this stuff here. There is a few more things I want to get done before we finish it off for this video. Yes, as much as you've probably been laughing yourself to death, there's more. A few more, not too much. I think the worst of it's done, but yeah, if you're wondering why I put Johnny Cash's version of Hurt on this part, it was basically just reflecting on me, or what I have to do, and it was like, oh, the realization of what's going on, and then it just gets worse there. Yeah, so I'm kind of redecorating this area to make it look a little bit more better. And you'll see I'm kind of changing it up a little bit to make it look more cleaner and more fluent. Yeah, so that's the only thing I need. I need 2 of those, by the way. But anyways, we're done with this, so let's have some more cringy dialogue.
That's the loveliest song anyone has ever written. Anyone!
Well, people are feeling feelings, aren't they? I guess love is in the air. Or should I say, in the water.
Will you marry me, Megan?
I will, and then I will learn the marriage and marry you again.
You're the love of my life, Ricky.
And you mine, Greg. My whole life was pointless until I met you.
I love this tree and I love this stick and...
Oh my god! It hurts so bad. It's almost over. It's almost over. Alright, we're almost close to getting the Scream Monument, or the Screamer's Monument. Let it be done!
Now's my chance. Everyone's love-struck and oblivious. They'll infernal, they'll demonic, but they'll sex the girls for sure. Hence they call my fiendish sisters, and come through this hellish door.
I swear, if I hear just one more rhyme.
I wouldn't call them sexy. The sexy girls for sure. I can't no more. I feel like if I continue more with this game, in this video, I'm just going to die of cringe. My face is going to be sucked up so much that it's going to suck up my brain. and then I'd just be dead. I'm sorry I had to put you through this stuff. Man, this guy is sadistic. Whoever made this was sadistic. They knew. They wanted me to suffer. But in all of it, I do find this enjoyable in the sense of just making the videos. I laughed at some of the stuff. As you can see, I was laughing during this whole me being like, oh, I hate being cringe, like this is cringy, but I do want to let people know I usually play a bit like I kind of ham it up a little, as what they would refer to it as, in the sense of just having humorous enjoyment of just the suffering. Usually the form of comedy is to have someone suffer, and in this case it's always me in some way, whether I had to force myself to play a game that was bad, or in this case I had to just say some words that I wasn't very kind to do. And yeah, you can see the humor of it, where especially with that clip of "Don't hug me, I'm scared," with the I love this tree and I love this rock. It's basically what they're kind of going with this idea with the dialogue here. And yeah, so that's all we need to do. We have some stuff to wait on, and I think that will be it for me, because I can't no more. I'm kind of done. I can't. It physically hurts me. But that will be all for me. So I will see you whenever I can, and part 4 won't be as chaotic. But yeah, hey, on the bright side, we're close to getting the Screamers Monument. This need 2 more apple strudel. So I've been Grim, and I'll see you in part 4 if I didn't die already from this cringe. Oh god, my face hurt.